Hi guys, got another one for you here today. It's a Samsung P610 Lite, and as you can see, the screen is absolutely shattered. So we need to remove the screen. Now the best way to do that is I'm going to use my heat pad. If you haven't got a heat pad, you can use a hot hairdryer. And get this stuff out of the way, which is annoying. Yeah, you can use a hairdryer and heat up the edges around and prise it out. If you've got some alcohol, use a bit of alcohol in between the glass and the frame, and it will make your job a lot easier. So let's get my heat pad. Right, so while that's warming up, I'm going to put this glass face down and give that about 5 or 6 minutes. Let it cook. It's on about 80 degrees. Don't know if it gets that hot, but it's can burn your hand. So I'll leave it on there for a few moments and then we'll continue the video. Alright guys, okay, that's been cooking for a while now. My background music on. Okay. Calm the nerves a bit, calms you down, gets you in the zone. You can see I've got this glove on because you can see all the bits that are falling off. So now, God, what is going on here? Okay, so here's the new screen. Now, as you can see, you've got the flex at the side there, and then you've got a connector in the middle. So what we'll do, so if we say that this goes in like so, you know, these are the areas where the flex is going to be. So we'll carefully prise this off. I'm going to start at the top. I'm just going to get in between the glass. Put a bit of alcohol in there just to penetrate it. Okay, so now you can slowly peel away at the tape. I could use tape when I put it back together, but I'm actually going to use some bonding glue. I find that's more solid. So now that we can see the main flex, I would recommend if you can start to see that there. If I can zoom in slightly for you, just there, if you can see the flex, just use one of these spudger tools. You don't want to damage that at all. Okay, and get a little tweezer just to peel away the tape. Lift up the door with your fingernail, and we have separation. Houston, we have separation. Yeah, I've just watched a film last night about a Mexican NASA, I don't know whether you call it a pilot or not, but yeah, very inspiring movie about a Mexican farmer whose dream was to be a NASA pilot, and he got it. Amazing. I'd recommend it. Forgot what it's called, but yeah, amazing. Right, so we're all good, and now I'm going to remove this out of the way and then clean up my desk a little bit, and then we'll continue. Right, so I've just compared the old screen to the new one. It doesn't come with the board that connects the flex and the LCD, so the digitizer to the LCD. So let's get that off first. I'm going to show you how I do that without damaging anything. So the first thing we need to do is just remove that flex just there. Bring the camera down a little bit to you. Okay, so let's get this door off. Just put that on the other side so we don't lose it. We don't need to take that one off, we can leave that on there because we're going to be removing this part here. So let's lift up that door, just pop that away. And again, this one, the new one. You don't need a tweezer for that, it will damage it, you see. So let's lift that up, put that through there, just lift it out. Okay, now this needs to come out. So I'm going to put a bit of alcohol underneath it. You won't damage anything, trust me. So we need a bit of heat. I don't know whether this will work. Okay, slowly prise it out. Is that music too loud? It just sounds a bit too loud. That's better. Okay. A bit more alcohol underneath just to penetrate. And as you can see, it comes out really easily. So we can prep the new screen. Make sure the alcohol is all cleaned up. Get rid of all this shrapnel from the glass. Oops, don't damage the flex. So let's line up this flex first of all. Do we have enough sticky stuff on the back of this for it not to move around? Let's have a look. Let's put this in. Make sure it's in and it's solid. Okay, that's all the way in. Close the door. Okay, I don't like how that's still moving, so I'll take this off. It's not enough sticky stuff there because of the alcohol. Just going to get a bit of tape now, just to stick onto the back of the LCD. Double-sided tape, mind you. Just pop that on in there. Let's put this back. Where we took it out from. Where are you coming from? You want to go back home? I don't think so. Okay, that's really annoying me now. Okay, that's spot on. And now we've stuck it down to where it shouldn't be stuck down to. Make sure it lines up here. Right, so to the next step. So what we need to do now is prepare the chassis for the bonding of the screen. Now, the issue we have at the moment, we've got quite a bit of bits of glass and tape everywhere. So I've just got one of these blades, and just going to go around and just scrape along the edges. You know, I mean, my channel really is, I don't think it's the best. It's not growing as quick as it should be, but I don't know. I think I enjoy it because it gives me a bit of me time, I suppose. Sometimes it's quite therapeutic, actually. I find it quite therapeutic making these videos. So, yeah. That's just me. Yeah, and eventually there'll be more of an incentive if it becomes monetized, which I hope it does at some point. Just about making the right content. Now, there's a bit of in that corner there. I don't know if you can see that metal that's annoying. So I might just have to bend that out slightly and just give it a little tap. You'll see more glass that's fallen out. Give that a sweep. I'm going to vacuum this later because I don't want any of this to stick in any part of myself. Because trust me, getting glass out of your fingers, you can't even see it because it's clear. You need a microscope to get it out, and I've done that many a time, and I hate doing it. Right, so let's see what the next step is now. I'm just going to put a bit of alcohol all the way around, and then it won't damage anything. Don't worry, this is like 99%, so it's pretty pure. Okay. I'll include a link at some point in the title below where you can get this alcohol from. Just give it a bit of a clean up. I could put tape around this, I think. I don't know. See how I roll. You could put double-sided tape. You can get Tessa tape off the internet. There's a bit of the glue there. Now that is a bit concerning to me because that's probably where the damage has happened in the first place. I'm going to try. I'm just going to get a screwdriver out to just slowly bend that out. Right, so I've got this screwdriver, and what I'm going to do now is just push it out. So it's a flat blade, as you can see just there. I'm going to push it out just so it doesn't make the same shape as the glass itself, as the frame. So we want to make sure that the glass fits in correctly. Now there also is a bit there that's sticking up, and it's quite sharp. How many kids playing with that and getting themselves, you know. I've got this little grinding pen thing. I don't know whether this is going to be strong enough, so I'm just going to scrape away the rough edge. Is there any? There's not. Let's make sure there's no metal anywhere. Okay, it's okay now. Not the best, but it will do. At the end of the day, it's either that or you want a new frame, and the customer's not going to pay for that. So, or they want a budget, and the screen's expensive as it is. So, let's get the where is? Okay. Here's the glass. So I'm just going to make sure that this fits. I'm going to put it upside down. it fits in properly, and it doesn't. So as you can see there now, that corner's good. I'm just testing it. I'll make sure that it's all good before we push it down. Okay, so yeah, let's lift that off. And also, while we are there, remember those green tags we took off before? Let's put them back on the flex doors. Right, now one very important thing we're going to do before we put it back together is we're going to test the screen. Where were we? 0.7. That's about right, isn't it? Or should I come out a bit more? Right, that's good enough. So let's put the flex in. So before you put anything back together, we're going to test the screen. Make sure it does what it should be doing. And right now we have diddly squat. Now I think this screen well, it's a genuine screen, so I would say it's definitely not an issue with the screen. The issue, I think, is that the device needs to be started up, restarted. Okay, so if I just press the volume down and power, don't know what difference that's going to make. Or just keep fingering the power button. Okay, there you go. As you can see, that's working fine. So I'm actually going to bond this screen down. I don't think I think the bonding is really solid, really strong, and it helps. You can use. I'm using this stuff here. It's called T900S. Pretty good stuff. I'll show you how I use it in a moment. While that's booting up, I'm just going to go and get my clamps that I use. Right. So remember the lock. Okay. Just going to test this while I'm just make sure there's nothing on here that shouldn't be on here, that you shouldn't see. So let's go into Google. I think this screen looks good. Just make sure that it's all working perfectly. So just test all the digits out. I mean, I don't even really need to do it, just doing it, make sure, because you never know. Manufacturer faults do happen. Everybody's perfect. Okay, so let's switch it off, and now let's on to the next stage. So carefully pop off the flex. Screen out of the way, and now we're going to apply the bonding. You do need to be careful of around the camera areas. You don't want any bonding going over the camera. Now when I've put this bonding on, I generally let it cure for a few minutes. Okay, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes to chillax, and then we'll do the rest shortly. In that time, I'll clean up my area, put all my bits back, which I don't need. I like to clean up after every job, to be honest, and then start afresh on the next one. Let's put it back in its place and on the wall, so I know exactly where it is next time I want to use it. One thing I do not like is looking for things. I hate looking for things, whether it's in the garage or in my house or here where I work. I want to find something within 30 seconds, probably even quicker than that. If I've put something back in its place, then I know that when I go back to using that same tool or whatever it is I'm about to use, I know exactly where it is. I don't have to faff about. I mean, if you see some people's workshops, I'm like, damn, how do you even work, man? I had a guy working for me ages ago who used to work with laptops, and he would just put the screws all over the desk, not even in like a container or or make a template, and he'd lose half the stuff. I'm like, how do you know what goes back where? Man, you can't work that way. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. You know, it doesn't work that way. Now I'm just going to have a little touch test. So still a couple more minutes. So while that's doing its business, I'll chill as well. All right, let's have a check of, is it tacky now? Yeah, that's, you know, it's not sticking to this stuff now, so that's about right. Let's put the flex into position, and put this green protection tab over the flex door. Now put the bottom in first, slowly. It's actually a perfect fit, isn't it? Beautiful. I'm just taking this protection film off, and before we put the okay, now it's a perfect fit. We're sticking out slightly from this side. Just go and have a visual inspection of it and make sure it's all balanced. Okay, so I'm going to get some alcohol on this cloth I've got here. I'm just going to go around pushing the glass down and getting rid of the excess glue that will seep out because you're pushing the glass out. So I don't get my mat dirty. It's brand new, this mat is. Right, okay. Some alcohol around there as well, just to, I mean, once it's dry it will come off anyway, but this just makes the life a lot easier. Okay, so that's that done. There was still a few bits here and there, but we can do that afterwards. So now, putting this back on. And then I've got these clamps, and I'll put these around. I don't want to press too tightly, just nip them up. All on around the edges, just enough to press the glass down. There you go. Okay, let's do the top as well. Now, as you can see, my camera is perfect, not covered at all. Do that edge as well. Okay, the function's good. Just snip it up, we don't want it too tight. In between the volume button. I kind of get the drift of what I'm doing here, so I think I'll end the video now. Again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you.